Hello! Lately, I've been enjoying going by the name Hyperpop Lady when it comes to posting my art. The name Hyperpop refers to a type of art that uses oversaturated colors, and it's also called eye strain art. It's usually pretty chaotic and messy with lots of details. My art isn't as chaotic and messy, but I think it's getting there. It's the balance of values and contrasts that can really make a hyperpop art piece super interesting. And that being said, you should know a little about color theory before you start. First off, values. Values are a range of lightness and darkness. Saturation, and it's the intensity of a color. And contrast, which is the difference in lightness and darkness. Now, each color has their own value, even at its most saturated. So neon blue is going to be way darker than, say, neon yellow. And this is the baseline for the hyperpop art style. And I don't usually use any other colors that aren't at their most saturated, unless it's like a dark blue for the background to make the piece pop out more. But there are ways to use less saturated colors in this art style, which I'll get into later. Color schemes. There are loads of color schemes you can use in this art style too. I specifically like to draw in the analogous scheme, so I use 3 colors on the color wheel next to each other. I do, however, like to use complementary colors too when I want something specific to pop out more than the rest. Complementary colors are colors that are opposite from the color wheel, like in this piece where I drew the complementary color to green for the candy, red, or this one where I draw yellow effects which are complementary to purple. I like to draw characters this way even when they have a set color palette. You just have to know how to sort of transfer the colors to know how they'd be in a hyperpop style. Like Spider Noir, I use an oversaturated blue since his main color palette is black. And blue, even at its most saturated, is the darkest color. I also allow myself to use black and white in these drawings. I think it just helps the colors contrast better. This is probably my best example. This is Claudine from the Monster High series. She has a brown skin tone, dark brown hair, and purple accents with some other supporting colors. And when I drew her, I used a blue-purple analogous color palette using blacks and whites to better help with the contrast. You'll also notice the hair itself is a pretty low saturated blue, but on top of it is textured swirls and marks that are their most saturated. So you can definitely use less saturated colors in a hyperpop piece, but I only use it when it allows for other colors to really pop out more. So don't be afraid to experiment with color in your pieces. Hyperpop art is meant to be fun, chaotic, and wild, which is why I love it. If this is something you would like to know more about, because I'm not too sure if I explained this all too well, studying color theory and lighting will really help. That sounds really challenging, but it's way simpler than you think. And of course, if there are any specific questions, I am happy to answer them. I hope you enjoyed learning a little about hyperpop art, and if you would like me to explain anything else, I'd be happy to try. Have a great day, guys!